revocation questionnaire in front of you.
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature at the bottom?
Yes, sir.
All right. Irvin Eugene Green, the third, 727-181, rule number 1, rule violation number 2. You failed to submit your monthly reports. How do you plead?
Guilty.
All right, you moved the address without informing the parole officer. You did not have written permission to leave the state of Louisiana. How do you plead?
You said I could plead guilty with a statement, right?
Yeah, you can.
Guilty with a statement.
All right, talk about that in a minute.
All right.
Your whereabouts were unknown and as such, a parole warrant was issued for your arrest on 12/16/2022, according to your FBI rap sheet. On or about 4/12/2023, you were arrested in Houston, Texas by the Houston Police Department and charged with felony assault on a family member, house member, impede breath, circulation, domestic violence, and evading arrest, detention. Charges in Texas are still pending. Subject posted bond and was extradited to Louisiana. How do you plead?
I'm not guilty to the charges, but you asked me like if that happened or not.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, guilty with a statement.
Guilty with a statement. Okay, that's good. Yeah. Number 7, on 12/9/2022, your parole officer initiated contact with you via video chats phone. On the video phone call, you were in your vehicle. Your officer asked you specifically if you were still living at 11528 Old Hammond Highway, apartment 202. You said yes. Your officer asked if you had anything new to report or any problems, and you said you did not. The property manager informed you that your officer that you had been evicted from the apartment November 2022, no longer living in apartment 202. At the time, you told your officer you were living there. You lied to your officer about where you were living. How do you plead? Number 7.
Guilty with a statement.
Okay. And number 10, as of 6/1/2023, your supervision fee account is 19 payments behind. You have arrears of $1,197. How do you plead?
Guilty.
How long have you been in jail there?
I believe like 90 days.
90 days. Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me your statements. You said you had a statement on number 3 and number 4 and number 7. What about your statements? I know you pled guilty with a statement, so tell me about what you want to say.
Which one was number 3 again?
Okay, number 3 is that you moved addresses without informing your parole officer, and you did not have written permission to leave the state of Louisiana.
I don't know if y'all have it on file, but my mom and all my family lives in Texas. When I paroled home, I had paroled to my grandfather's house. He sold his house and moved to Vegas, so I was really left in Baton Rouge by myself. I had just had a brand new baby. I had my first kid around this time, and his mom was dealing with addiction. She was addicted to fentanyl, so it was just a lot on my plate. I just had a kid. I was out there by myself, and we got evicted, so I was just trying to bring my child somewhere safe to his grandmother and his grandfather. The way I did it probably wasn't the best, but that's the reason I had went out of town.
But why didn't you get with your parole officer and tell him that?
I was telling them, see, in the process of all this going on, they switched my parole officer. My parole officer was a guy named Carmouche, and me and him, we had a nice understanding on, like, you know, every time, like, I never did anything wrong. I never had any dirty UAs or anything. Kept a job the whole time, but they like switched them. Like in the process of all this going on, they gave me a new parole officer, and when he called me, it's like I don't know, I was nervous. A lot was going on. I should have did it a different way, but it's just like everything was happening so fast.
Right. You know, what about the one about going to Houston, Texas, and having the charges? You still have a pending court date. You still what about that?
On that case, I believe that case is gonna get dismissed because I literally was just defending myself, and then the police report says that.
But the charge is still pending, though, so we're kind of in
right.
Then the other one is, again, you left you were on a video phone chat. You said you were there, and they really had found out that you had been evicted. So What's that about?
I didn't know where I was going or where I was going to really be at the time. I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what to tell him.
I got it. Okay. Would you like to make a statement on your behalf?
I would just like to ask for another chance. Like, I wasn't getting in trouble. I kept a job. I had started my own business. I got a little boy. He turned 1 yesterday. I just want to be there for him, man. I know what I did wrong and I take full responsibility, but I know for sure that it wouldn't be a problem again if I go back out there, because now my kid and my girl are safe. They with my mom. I have no reason to do anything crazy. She's not doing drugs anymore. I don't, I'm just ready to go live life. I
Where's
made
your mama
mistakes.
live?
Say it again. She lives
Where's
in
your mama?
Texas. She lives in Missouri City, Texas, and my dad lives in Houston. That's why I said I was here alone. I was out here by myself.
Yeah. So you going back to Texas when you get out, is what you say?
Yes, sir.
I mean, the problem that we got, to be honest with you, is that you left the state. I get it. Trying to do the best you can. There's something you need to get with your parole officer and handle. You also have these charges still pending. So we're kind of at a loss. We kind of, there's not a whole lot we can do. You need to get these resolved, these issues. So I keep doing what you're doing. Try to stay out of trouble. Hopefully these charges will get resolved, and then you can, at that point you maybe can parole out. But because of the going to executive session, we got a motion for executive session.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Brandon Country?
Yes.
Steve Freeman?
Yes.
Howard?
Yes.
We'll be right back. All right.
Yes, sir.